Hello everyone, this is ElijahBman weather. It has been a while guys, but today we're going to be checking out the cold potential towards the end of the month for the Pacific Northwest. First off, let's take a look at the infrared satellite imagery. You can see here that system moving aboard over here around the Pacific Northwest. We got some chilly rain out there, mountain snows going on, and you can see the stationary area of these cloud tops. That's actually the cold air, minus 20 or colder, showing up there at the surface. Even some minus 30s showing up there. Very, very cold air in east of the Rockies and in northern Canada right now, as Arctic air is sliding east of the Rockies. So let's take a look at SEDA's reanalysis. So this is basically temp anomalies from the last 2 months. Okay, so November 3rd to January 3rd. It's been pretty mild here. You can see this warmer than normal showing up to 3 or 4 degrees above seasonal Celsius, which, as we know, we really haven't had any snow or cold air yet in this winter, and it's early January. But you can also see there's some really warm air over Hudson's Bay, over northern Canada, aside from maybe off the coast of Baja or Mexico or in Greenland. There really hasn't been much cold air in the area, or chillier than normal air, should I say. But, so let's just check it out here. We're going to look at the GFS extended. Alright. Just going to make sure this is yesterday's run. So today's run is not out yet. So just bear with me. My internet connection's very poor. But if we kind of scroll out here, there we go. This is looking at the January the 3rd to 23rd. So we're talking about 20 days from now or so. It's very far out. You can see this area of troughing coming out over the Pacific Northwest and this ridging over the Aleutian and Western Alaska. This typically allows for some northeasterly flow. You can see this ridge here kind of pushes the jet stream out this way. It kind of comes over and then it goes down this way again as we get air coming from the northeast. This can allow for some colder air into the Pacific Northwest and lowering any snow levels around. And if we're lucky, we can get some snowfall down towards Seattle, Vancouver, Portland if things are cold enough and we have the right system track. If it lets us scroll out here, the internet lets us scroll out here, you can see down to the 25th, 26th, got some cross-border flow kind of looking signals showing up here. That ridging still showing up offshore. It continues into early February as well. So it's very interesting. And let's see if it lets us look at around maybe January the 18th or something. Here's January 16th. And then you can see as we get towards the 20th or so, it shows that trough start to retrograde into the Pacific Northwest as we get towards the 22nd, 23rd. Here's the Euro extended. It's going to take some time for it to upload for me, I think, because it's very bad. You can see this ridging pattern taking over. We got cold out east showing up. Got this long range wave ridge pattern over the Pacific Northwest. And we got that Aleutians low pressure kind of pattern going on. We got that pretty low pressure going off of eastern Canada and eastern United States. It's kind of got that ridging. And you can see we're starting to look into some more ridging pattern showing up later, just after mid-January or so. And then you can see this troughing start to move west over the area. And this would, once again, carve out a nice trough over the area. We might be able to talk about some colder air if that happens. Let's take a look at something here, actually. Let's take a look at the temperature anomalies. So this is today's meter temperature anomalies for this region. You can really see it does pick up off that signal here as we head into the 23rd, 24th. You get those greens showing up for this far out. Maybe we will be talking about some maybe a small chance we get into some Arctic air, maybe even higher than that. Maybe a negative PNA and a ridging pattern can really get us in a better shot or opportunity for an Arctic air type flow as we head into late January this time, and even into February. If we kind of scroll out here, if we scroll out here, just let it load for a second. You can see that cold signal showing up as well as we get into early mid-February. So there's a lot of potential. There's a lot of winter left. There's still potential for us to get some cold air. Now let's take a look at today's 18Z GFS ensemble. I want to show you something. It will take some time to load. Let's just go scroll out here. See that ridge over the area into mid-January showing up? No signs of it yet, eh? And then you see something here. See this trough moving east and this ridge kind of replacing it over Alaska. Just letting it load. It's taking forever. And then as you get to late January, we get that cold trough signal showing up. So yeah, even today's GEFS ensemble is starting to show that pattern retrogression already, and we're not even into where the models show the best chances for Arctic air. And look at that. That is a deep trough, and you get that ridging offshore. If we get a strong enough ridge and we get a strong enough trough, maybe we'll get the sufficient cold blast that can allow for us to see our first snow. Seattle, Portland, Vancouver, you heard it. You heard it first. You heard it from me. It's still in fantasy land, but look at this. This is beautiful. We're going to stay tuned. And yeah. Just for fun here, this is Abbotsford Airport. You can see there's a bunch of members around the 21st or after showing -10, -15 showing up here. There's a few -5s, zeros, -3s. There's a few members here on board with that Arctic air chance, and it is a pretty chilly signal around this time. And you can see as we head into early mid-February, this pattern still showing some signs of colder air as well. And yeah, so winter's not over, folks, and this might be your time. We've had a lot of backloaded winters. We've had 2018, we've had 2019, had stuff like that. So we even had an Arctic blast back in 2022, late February 2022. We saw 30 centimeters. Yeah, just take a look at one more thing, just for fun, guys. This is a fantasy run. It's gonna let us. Oh, this is just a for fun fantasy land. You can see, look at that trough. Just a piece of the polar vortex carving right over the Pacific Northwest. Pretty deep ridge over West Alaska, and we got that southeast ridge block. This is just cross polar flow, air just streaming right out of the Arctic into the Pacific Northwest. This would bring very cold temperatures across the Pacific Northwest. You can see, yeah, look at that. That's probably one of the best runs I've ever seen. Look at that. All of Western Canada is being engulfed by those very deep cold pattern temperatures here. Saskatchewan, Alberta, BC, Pacific Northwest. There's a lot of cold air coming off the continent, coming right back in. That would probably produce some C-effect snowfall as well in some areas, even down into the coast of Oregon, possibly in something that crazy. Yeah, so if we kind of look at the seasonal temperature anomaly, January, February, March 2025, the National Weather Service is still saying that we will have a colder than normal end to winter here. So even though we've had a very warm start to winter, we haven't seen any snow in Seattle, Langley, BC, some areas near Vancouver had maybe a trace of snow in November, but this might be our time. Late January into early February, we might be talking about snow opportunities and cold air, but there's a lot to go. So, yeah, stay tuned. Don't get hyped yet. There's lots of hope. But yeah, stay tuned. I will be here to let you know. It'll be on my Twitter page as well. ElijahBman, West Coast Weather X 2022, WX 2022. You'll see me there posting about that as well. So yeah, stay tuned. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.